This is Hino's Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. All right. I watched the Gary Russell interview. Shout outs to Barbershop Conversation. So I watched that interview and it was a good one. Great job on doing the interview. So salute to you, man. But let me get on to the damn video. I was watching the interview and I was listening to Gary Russell Jr. and he said a lot of things that were both glaring, but at the same time, he has to understand that he's part of the problem. And let me explain. He mentioned that he respected Floyd Mayweather when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, right? But this Mayweather here, Money Mayweather, he's a bitch, right? That came out of his mouth. That's his vernacular, right? That this Money Mayweather is fake. He's phony. You know what I'm saying? He's just not what he used to be. Okay, I could understand that. But here's the thing. If you're trying to make a fight with a fighter, right? And you want to get the promoter's attention, there's a certain way to do things to where you're not going to, what I would say, position yourself out of that fight. And calling Money Mayweather out and saying that he's a bitch and all of this stuff, that's not going to get you to fight with Tank. That's not going to happen. Because at the end of the day, Mayweather Promotions is his promoter. And at the end of the day, Tank is the A side in this scenario. Now, I get it. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to call everybody out so that you can let them know you want all that free smoke. But there's a professional way to do it. Now, Gary Russell Jr. said that he's been positioning himself. He's been pushing himself to do this over and over and over again so that he can line himself up for the Tank fight. And there's going to be people that's going to be all over the Gary Russell Jr. interview. Is going to support him. Is going to say, yeah, you know what I'm saying? He was right. You know what I'm saying? Everything he did was right. But I'm not in the business of saying that Gary Russell Jr. was right or Tank's right. I'm sure Gary Russell Jr. did things that were right and wrong, and I'm sure Tank did things that were right and wrong. So this is not about who's right and who's wrong scenario. It's about what makes sense. This is why I try to keep telling people, boxing is not just about the best fighting the best. There's politics involved in boxing. There's promoters involved in boxing. There's all of this stuff. Sanctioning bodies, there's all of this stuff that's associated with the sport. And if you want the fights that you want, then you're going to have to do certain things to get the fight. In this scenario, you're not the A side. So you can't think that calling the dude out, Tank, the way that you're calling him out is going to position you or proposition you for the fight. Now, I'm one of the folks that actually want Tank to fight Gary Russell Jr. I would love that fight. That's a DMV fight right there. Of course, us as fans, we would enjoy that fight. That would be a great fight for boxing. But you're not going to get the fight the way that you're going about it. I'm sorry to tell you that. Now, in terms of the Leo Santa Cruz fight, that's more realistic. So my take on it is this. I get it. You had to feel that you had to, you know what I'm saying, do that hug with the dad to get Leo Santa Cruz's attention. Leo Santa Cruz is a completely different scenario than Tank Davis. People say, oh, you being a hypocrite. Da, da, da. No. You guys have to understand. Unlike Leo Santa Cruz, Tank has the position to be a superstar. He's going to be on pay-per-view at some point. He has pay-per-view ability. Pay-per-view, you know what I'm saying, stardom. People want to watch Tank fight. He brings folks out to the yard. Leo Santa Cruz, not so much. The dude is a human punching bag. That's what he is at his truest and his most properest levels. And everyone knows if Gary Russell Jr. gets in the ring with Leo Santa Cruz, he's going to dispatch him via boxing clinic. Let me say it again. He's going to dispatch Leo Santa Cruz via boxing clinic. But if he fights Tank, as much as he's sitting there saying Tank don't want that free smoke, I seriously believe that it will be a good step-up fight for Tank Davis, right? Because Gary Russell Jr. wants that work. But here's the thing. I still think Tank bodies Gary Russell Jr. because all Tank has to do is land those punches on him. Remember, his fists are like Tanks. Let me say it again. His fist is like Tanks. People that are overly critical of Tank still recognizes how special Tank is. This is why they're overly critical of him, because they want to see him fight the best, right? Now, Tank is positioning himself at this point to line himself up to fight the best. Otherwise, why did he move up to 135? But see, this is the thing that these classic goats and these troglodytes don't want to understand. The Rudy Poos and the Plum Plum brains, right? The ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy rhetoric. They're sitting here getting on Tank left and right when they have their fighters that are not doing everything that they're supposed to do. They're not taking all of the fights that they're supposed to take. And when you call them out on that, they want to sit there and look at you like, hey, you don't know boxing. You don't know boxing. Tank is ducking. He's ducking. Well, what about Loma? What about all of these other fighters? There's fights that you could look in their resume and you could clearly see you're fighting competition or opposition that's way beneath you. So this is my take on it. If people gonna get on Tank about this shit, they need to get on everybody else about this shit. Let me say that again. If you're gonna get on Tank about this shit, you need to get on these other fighters about this shit. It's really that simple. I've been one of the folks that criticized Tank when was necessary. But at this point, it's not necessary to criticize him. He's that special guy, that special little guy that everyone wants to fight. Tank tried to get a super fight at 130 with Tevin Farmer. Tevin Farmer obviously didn't want no free smoke. No one wants to give Tank credit for that. Tank could have had a quality fight in Abner Mares. Let's keep it a buck here. So we're going to sit here and act like Abner Mares is now way better than some damn Nunez? Let me say it again. We're going to sit here and act like Abner Mares was not way better than some damn Nunez. Tank had the option to do that. But that fight was taken out of his hands because Abner Mares didn't want that free smoke. He knew Tank was going to knock his ass out. Then came up with some false excuse of him having a retina issue in the last second. Because all you got to do is look at Robert Garcia and his confusion stories left and right on, oh yeah, this is what happened with Abner Mares' retina here and this is what happened with his retina there. It was confusing as fuck, folks. Really was. So Gary Russell Jr., what you did in that interview with Barbershop Conversation, it didn't help you for the Tank fight. Not calling out his promoter the way that you did. Now I get it. You want to keep it real. You want to be that dude that lets people know, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm one of these, real gully cats out here in these streets. I get it. But boxing is a business. And that's the thing that people forget. You kind of talked yourself out of that fight. Now people are going to say, well, what the hell are you talking about? That's the facts. When you're the B-side, you have to do everything as a B-side to play your role and play your position so that you can get the A-side's attention. Let me say it again. When you are the B-side, you have to do everything as a B-side to play your role and play your position to get the A-side's attention. It's really that simple. Now, the Leo Santa Cruz fight, that's a fight people should be clamoring for because both of y'all asses are at 126 and it's more realistic. People need to get after Leo Santa Cruz. This man ducked Rigo. This man didn't want no free smoke with a lot of fighters. He only fought fighters that were quote-unquote matched with him. Tank Davis, he didn't want no free smoke with him. Tank been calling his ass out. So Leo Santa Cruz, all this ducking this motherfucker been doing, his ass needs to fight Gary Russell Jr. And I didn't feel what Gary Russell Jr. did with him and his dad was disrespectful. I didn't. Because they're both at 126. And Gary Russell Jr. made an eloquent point. We've both been dominating the division as long as we've been dominating. Why can't this fight happen? But what I also like about Gary Russell Jr. is he called out Shakur Stevenson. Whew. Now that one was good. Because he basically told Andre Ward and Timothy Bradley, you guys said that this kid is good enough to fight the champions at 126. So Gary Russell Jr. wants that free smoke. That's another fight that I wouldn't mind watching. You talked yourself out of the Tank fight, but I could realistically see you fighting Shakur Stevenson or realistically see you fighting Leo Santa Cruz. Preferably Leo Santa Cruz, but I'm not going to lie. If you were to fight Shakur Stevenson, that would be a great fight as well too. So y'all let me know in the comment section below, what do you guys think of Gary Russell Jr. and his interview and all that he had to say? So I've already given you guys my take, and it is what it is. This is He Knows the Sport. Checking out.